Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sakura and I am based in Tokyo. I have some exciting news. So last fall or winterish, somewhere around there, VIVAIA actually asked me to gift some pairs of shoes for me to try out and review, and it seems like a lot of you really liked that video and appreciated my review on that, so I'm happy to share that this time around VIVAIA also sent me another 3 pairs of shoes for me to review for their summer collection. So this actually came at a great time because if you don't already know, I started a new job back in May of this year. So I was actually just on the hunt for some shoes that I could wear to the office that are summery, stylish, comfortable, and fits the office fits. The first pair that I'm going to review is called the V Prime sneakers. Claims to be waterproof or at least very water resistant, so I wanted to get a pair of simple black sneakers for work that I could wear during the rain. Second is going to be called the Tamia 2.0, which is the round-toed flats that are very popular within this brand. The third pair is called the Aria. Specifically, these are the upgraded ones called the Aria 5 degrees. This shoe is also supposed to be water resistant, which is really great. And I've actually had all of these shoes for over a month and have tested it days where there's a lot of rain, there's a little bit of rain, so I'll be able to give you really good insight on if these shoes are actually water resistant. So my feet are a little bit odd because they're considered wide feet. So I do have issues finding shoes that fit, but they're not so wide enough that I necessarily always need wide feet shoes. So I'm kind of like in the middle there. And my right foot is unfortunately a slightly bigger than my left foot, so I always have issues with that. Also, I don't have a very high arch, which means that I need a lot of arch support for my feet to not get tired. In sizing, in European size, I'm usually a 37 for anything that are flats or heels that are more close to your feet that needs to be a perfect fit. And then my other size for usually sneakers, which can have a little bit of room, I tend to get a 38 European size and 24 Japanese size. So let's get right into the individual shoes. First up is these V Prime sneakers. Sorry, I just showed you the back. That's like the worst part, but I'm gonna show you my sneakers here. So as you can see, these are a pair of sneakers that I thought were gonna be super timeless and easy to match with pretty much anything and have a simple enough style where it's not distracting or inappropriate for the office. I also really like this little VIVAIA logo here. I thought that was a really cute touch. And overall, I really love this style. So let's talk pros and cons. The main reason why I wanted a pair of sneakers, I already have white sneakers. One, I wanted a pair of black sneakers, but more importantly, as I mentioned, these pairs are supposedly very water resistant or even waterproof. I actually can't really tell the difference. I apologize because in Japanese it's kind of vague as to which one it is, but anyway, if you've seen the advertisement, you're supposed to be able to run through puddles and stuff like that. So are these actually waterproof? So I am going to insert this video right here to show you what I did as a test and also my result after wearing it on heavy days of rain as well as light days of rain. So as you can see, what I'm doing in this video is I'm inserting a dry piece of paper towel in the shoe and I'm going to be running this under the sink. What I'm doing is focusing the water on the outside parts because the middle part where the laces are is going to be the most vulnerable in terms of water. So I don't want to be putting, like a whole thing of water on that, but I want to mimic rain, right? On this glance, as you can see, and also from my experience, I have had really great success wearing these shoes within heavy rain during my commute. I'm also, just to mimic the rain here, taking a bunch of water and spraying that with my hands on the shoe. And as you can see, it is still pretty dry inside. In moderate to heavy rain that I've worn these in my commute, my feet have stayed dried. And you have no idea how happy that makes me. I don't have any other waterproof shoes that are appropriate more for the office, and especially in the summer when it's too hot and you can't wear boots or anything like that. I guess you can, but I prefer not to. These are the perfect pair for me to grab when I am expecting rain. So let's talk about what I don't like about this shoe. Fortunately, they fit really well on my semi-wide feet and I don't have any issues on the side part of my foot where it usually hits or hurts. However, something that I find uncomfortable about this shoe is that where the ankle hits the shoe, and I'll try to insert another video clip here so you can see what I'm talking about. I do feel like it's a little bit smaller than I anticipated. So I guess if you have thicker ankles, this might be an issue where it's a little bit uncomfortable and it squeezes your foot, or maybe it's just not as roomy as one would expect it to be in a wide open sneaker. The second unfortunate con about this shoe is that I have tried many of their shoes now, and some of their flats, their cushioning is really, really good. However, for this shoe particularly, with someone who has basically no arch in their foot, I found that there's pretty much no cushion support and it's really, really flat in this shoe. So this can probably be solved with putting in an insert, which is recommended probably. If I'm paying good money for a solid pair of sneakers, I would really expect it to have a little bit of arch support, and unfortunately this one does not. Alright, let's talk about the second pair of shoes, which is these gorgeous, at least to me, gorgeous Tamia 2.0. So the Tamias are the ones that are a little bit more round-toed pairs of flats, and they come in a variety of different sizes and patterns. And let me tell you, when I saw these, bi-color one, it's black and then also I think what they would call kind of an almondy neutral color, I fell in love instantly and I knew that I had to get these shoes. I actually realized the reason why I like the colors is because it kind of reminded me of those Chanel ballet flats that you may have seen, and I think my brain made that connection that was like, Chanel dupe? Obviously it's not a dupe, but the colors I did like, and so I'm really happy to have a more affordable version of those colors. So with this shoe, I got this in a size 37, which fit perfectly for me. I have rocked in these for hours and on multiple days where I have gone to work. I have not had any issues in terms of how wide, room there is for my foot. It's quite comfortable. There's also a really, solid cushion that is comparable to the Margot 2.0 that I purchased last year, and I really generally like this style and comfort of these flats here. I don't really have any cons. I think maybe the only thing is that when you purchase a lighter shoe from VIVAIA with this material, it can get dirty a little bit easier. Third and last, let's talk about the Aria 5 Degrees flats here. So, just a little spoiler, these are my favorite shoes that I think I have gotten from VIVAIA so far, and there's 3 reasons for that. First and foremost, as you can tell from the name, this one is called the Aria 5 Degrees. What the 5 degrees means is that there is a slight angle in which the shoe is created to, I don't really know the technology or like the thought behind it, to better fit people's feet. And for me, I don't find that this is like more comfortable than other VIVAIA flats that I have tried, but I do find that this shoe kind of fits my foot more perfectly than the other flats that I have tried. When I'm walking, there is no like my heel going up and down. The general wide part of my foot stays still, and I feel like it's a really, really good fit. And I don't know if it's specifically because of the 5 degrees, but I do feel like it does make a difference. The second reason is that I think out of all the flats that I've tried, actually out of all the shoes that I've tried from VIVAIA and other flats that I have tried from other brands, this one has my favorite arch cushion support. So I don't want to be exaggerating, but it kind of almost feels like you have a bounce to your foot because of the cushion. And so I find these the most comfortable out of all the other shoes that I have tried. And I find myself leaning towards this flat when I want to wear a flat. Lastly, as I mentioned, this specifically says that this pair of flats is also supposed to be water resistant. So I did the same test that I did with the V Prime sneakers, putting in this dry piece of paper towel into the foot part and then running some water under the sink. So as you can see, it's actually pretty solid in terms of not letting the water seep into the shoe where your foot is. However, one caveat I would say is that obviously because the foot surface area that is exposed wearing this shoe, more rain is more easily able to get into your foot or into the shoe when it comes down into that like top part of your foot, right? So in terms of coverage for rain, obviously these flats are less than the sneaker that encompasses your whole foot. But I do appreciate that in a flat, it is still water resistant, which is not the case for all of the other flats. Alright, so now that we talked about the individual shoes, let's talk about VIVAIA as a whole and discussing their pros and cons. I'm going to start with the cons. Just as a quick disclaimer here, I've included information including my personal experience with the brand and like wearing the shoes, as well as I try to include as much info possible from other comments that I've seen from my channel, some general sentiments that I've seen on other people's or other creators' VIVAIA shoes review section, or excuse me, the comment section. I just wanted to make sure that you're getting the best like big picture view out of all the other videos that you'll watch, and so I have consolidating those thoughts into this section. One sentiment that has not personally happened with me, most likely because I am a creator working with the brand, but I have seen as a general sentiment across a couple of different videos, is that the return and exchange process for the shoes can be either complicated, not straightforward, or sometimes even like can get lost in the communication, right? I wanted to mention that because I understand that when you're buying pairs of shoes online, it's really difficult to choose what size is right for you because sometimes the sizes can differ as well. So my advice here is that if you're really interested in the shoes, is to watch a lot of videos, mine if you'd like, to talk about the sizing for the specific shoe that you want, to make sure that you know before you order, so that hopefully you won't have to go through the hassle of returning and exchanging. Second is that because of the material, which I do like because it's flexible but it's still sturdy, unfortunately if you get lighter colors of this shoe, it tends to get dirty quite quickly. Personally, I haven't had that issue because I haven't worn these shoes so many times yet, or a few months, or maybe several months, and I have not washed any of them yet. But I do feel like, yes, my lighter shoes can scruff easier and also get dirty easier. Third is that in my previous video, I mentioned this as well, but I still don't quite understand the sustainability aspect of this brand. I know that they have a more like transparent page on their website on how exactly they do it, but these things are quite difficult to verify. So while they do a good job of marketing and also explaining the efforts that they make, I personally am not able to say they do exactly that, or I'll be able to vouch for the process that they actually do because I'm not a knowledgeable person on this subject, I suppose. So if sustainability is a topic that is really, really important to you, I would again encourage you to do your own research and watch, other creators' reviews on this as well. So now let's switch gears to things I like about this brand. First and foremost is that as I'm getting older, I want to be more sustainable in the sense that I'm only buying pieces, shoes or clothing that will last a long time in my closet, quality-wise and also style-wise. And I really, really like the style and simplicity of the shoes that are available at VIVAIA. I do feel like it fits a general, large population of what people are looking for. It's office friendly, it's also travel friendly, and it's generally just like a very timeless shoe that you can have in most of the styles that you can get. Next is the quality and comfort, especially for flats, that I want to highlight. When VIVAIA, to be honest, reached out to me in the beginning when I didn't really know about their brand and it was getting a little bit more popular in social media, I was quite hesitant to think that maybe this would be a brand that doesn't deliver the quality that it promises. But to be honest, I have tried many shoes in my life and I do feel like the cushion, my accommodation for my slightly wide feet and the angles and everything like that have been really comfortable and long lasting for the shoes that I do have from them. So I do think that even though the price is a little bit steep, I think sometimes over like 10,000 yen JPY for a pair of flats, I do feel like it's worth it in terms of the quality that you will get. For flats specifically, you can actually throw them in the wash as well. Last but not least, I think this one is erring more on the side of my personal opinion because I can't speak for others, but I found that their sizing is usually quite consistent. So for flats, I have gotten all of them in the exact same size. I think I have 3 pairs. For the sneakers, as I mentioned, I usually size up and that was fine except for the ankle part for this shoe. And then for the boots that I reviewed in the fall and the winter and the heels too, they were pretty much consistent on what I usually get in this size. So again, I know that this may vary for your own feet or maybe your own shoes, but for me, personally, I have had a consistent sizing and have only gotten the 2 different sizes that I usually get, and then, splitting that across the kind of shoe that I get. So if you are interested in buying these shoes or trying them out, I do have a discount code for you, which is for 12% off using my username Sakurambo. And I'll link that down in the description or the video here too. And one last thing I wanted to leave you with is, if I had to choose one shoe that I think is the best out of all the shoes that I've tried from VIVAIA and that I recommend for most people, it is going to be the Aria pointed toe flats. and they come in a variety of different sizes and colors and patterns, so I also think it's quite versatile for most people. So if you're erring on the side of, maybe I want to try but I don't know which shoe to start with, and you're looking for a pair of flats, this is the one. The Aria 5 Degrees that I reviewed in this video is the one I highly recommend out of all the shoes that I have tried. Alright, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Hope it was helpful, and if it was, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all so much. See you later. Bye.
Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window.